Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Eeks and Geeks.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Kirsten.
I'm Siberia.
And I'm Pumpkin.
Yay!
We
did
weren't
it!
rusty on that. That's crazy.
We're in sync.
So how's everyone doing? How was our brief hiatus?
Doing great.
that we ignored online, but we just took a little tiny break.
We're all just busy girls.
We're
just busy girls.
Listen, getting 4 people together every week, it's a little tricky, all right? We're
It's
doing our
logistics
best.
and stuff that you guys could never understand.
What did that Michaela girl say in her TikTok when she was like, I work till 5 o'clock. You don't understand how hard it is to be an influencer.
I've been doing
I work till
meetings.
5 o'clock.
That's us. But it is actually very hard to coordinate every week. So
yeah,
work with us.
Enough excuses.
Okay, I'm just claiming. So this week we watched Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is this the last one in our block?
No, I'm next.
Oh, okay.
Nope. We have Kirsten.
Sorry, it was just my pick. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. We are currently in our horror comedy section.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this movie is so goddamn funny. I'm excited to hear everyone's opinions on it. But before we get into it, anyone watch anything?
I did.
What'd you watch?
I have a
well,
list.
You guys both watched Scream, didn't you?
No, just me and my mom.
You didn't, Pumpkin?
Mm-mm.
Oh, what did you go see?
The only movie I've seen recently was 65.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what
I've never even heard of that.
Oh,
it
right.
was
very
Driver?
bad. Yeah, it was really bad.
Oh, really? That's unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately. I was really looking forward to it.
Rough.
Yeah.
All right, here's my list. I saw Knock at the Cabin.
Gay?
That sounds familiar.
It is gay. It's so good. It's so sad. It's very sad. I cried.
Oh no.
Hang on, let me look.
Dave Bautista is such a great actor. I love him so much.
I love Dave Bautista.
Be in more things.
I know, put him in like actual acting roles.
Yes, it's the new M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, and it was good? You liked it?
Oh, it was so good. I loved it.
Okay, that's exciting.
I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I also watched Cocaine Bear.
Oh my
How
God,
was Cocaine Bear?
Funniest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. Me and my mom were like dying in the theater. It was so funny. It's so
I forgot
good.
that came out. I want to watch that too.
It's so
Yeah,
good. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd too.
Oh my God. Okay.
Some stuff that weren't horror, and then I watched Scream 6. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I loved it. It was a great installment to the film.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great.
I need to catch up on Scream. I've only seen the first one.
I think I've only seen the first one too, and it was like a long time ago.
Yeah, I watched them all. I'm a huge Scream fan. But the only ones I really, really like are Scream 1.
Scream 6.
Yeah, Scream 1.
I'm a big Scream fan. I pretty much really like Scream 1.
Scream 4, Scream 5, Scream 4, Scream 5, and Scream 6. Scream 4, 5, and 6. I like the second one, not as much. And then the third one, I can take it or leave it.
Do without.
Yeah, I can do without that one. But yeah, that's what I watched.
Bye, Lauren.
Bye, girl. Well, I guess the only horror thing I've watched is finishing The Last of Us.
Sorry, Leo's.
Oh yeah, Last of Us ended. So
and it was
good.
So good.
It was so good.
I just sounded like Jasper the doll.
It was so
good. I'm a Joel apologist.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he didn't do anything wrong. What do you think he needs to apologize for?
Yeah.
I guess if that makes me anti-vax, sorry.
Suddenly I'm a Republican. Like fuck vaccines.
For Joel,
I'm live streaming this. And I put it on context.
We are recording, so you don't have to live stream it.
Yeah, I'm gonna post just this with no context. Just go ahead and
I'm a
cancel
Republican
us.
now.
I'm a Republican now.
This is now a Republican podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
That's
much.
hate vaccines.
Anybody else watch anything?
I haven't watched shit.
I've been binging anime, so I haven't been watching horror.
I watched a lot of anime the last couple of weeks.
I've swallowed about 2 seasons of My Hero in like 4 days.
I haven't started My Hero yet. I watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man's good.
I
And
have
then
that one downloaded.
I'm halfway through season 1 of Demon Slayer.
Oh, okay.
Slayer.
And I watched all of that horror anime. I think I said that last season or last episode though. Junji Ito, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. So just a lot of anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched a few movies, but I haven't watched any horror in a minute. So.
Yeah, because you were doing your Oscar things, right?
Yeah, I've been watching like all of the Oscar movies, and I feel like the beginning of the year is always a little bit dry on horror anyway. So it's like, even though a few things have come out, like not a lot of stuff is streaming yet. So just waiting. So just as like a little, I got some feedback from our great friend Holler, and she was saying that it would be helpful. She said she was listening to a few episodes, and she was like, you guys talk about the movie, and I have like no idea what it is, yet, like before you start talking about it. So I feel like it might be helpful if we give like just like a brief, like 1-sentence synopsis.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah.
We watched Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. It's about two rednecks that get like typecasted as murderous villains by a group of teens, and they're actually not doing anything wrong, and the teens actually end up killing themselves off throughout the movie.
It's just so funny.
It's a hilarious premise. So I was trying to do a little bit of, we like to do like our little fun bits, and I couldn't find a goddamn thing about this movie.
Weird.
But so I wrote Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is a dark comedy that premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in 2010. It currently has an 85% from both critics and audience on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is a crazy score.
Really good for a horror movie.
To be so high from both. The only fun fact I have is that apparently on the DVD, there's a bonus feature that allows you to watch the film from the college student's point of view, like a full cut of the movie from their point of view, complete with Tucker and Dale as like complete psychopaths. It plays out much closer to a typical slasher film, complete with Chad looking like the hero of the story.
I want to see that.
That's hilarious. That sounds great.
I thought that was kind of a fun... That's kind of crazy though, for that to just be a bonus feature. They like recut an entire movie.
Did the whole movie?
Yeah, that's
it must be short. It must be significantly shorter, but
that's true.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah, I want to see it.
So tell me some thoughts. Tell me everybody's thoughts.
Some final thoughts, if you will.
Some final thoughts. Should I do? How do we usually do it? Does the person...
Usually, you just nominate whoever you want.
Okay, I was like, do we usually the person I watch should go first? Okay, I want to hear Kirsten's thoughts.
I'll just read what I wrote on Letterboxd.
Okay.
This is one of the best horror comedies I've ever seen. 8 out of 10. That's all I'll say.
Okay. You hadn't seen it, had you? Or have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
You hadn't seen it? Okay.
No.
Was it just Pumpkin that had seen it before? And me?
I hadn't seen it before.
Okay.
I've seen it before.
Siberia, what did you think?
I loved the fuck out of this movie. I was laughing out loud. Like, I watched this by myself alone, and I don't usually laugh out loud if I'm alone. Like, I usually am just like,
yeah,
like a crazy person. But this one had me like guffawing.
Yes, like, same.
I love a misunderstanding trope, and so in this kind of way. Not in like a serious way. Like this is like when it's funny, like it's really fucking funny.
Yeah.
And like they just got the perfect 2 actors to play them. Like Alan Tudyk is so earnest.
I love him.
Like you just love him and you're like, they're not doing anything wrong. Okay.
They're like the sweetest men ever.
Yeah. So I had a really good time. And so I'm gonna give it, I think I gave it a 7.5.
Punky, what do you think?
I'm dumb and I forgot to write down my thoughts on this one, but yeah, I have seen it before. The first time I saw it, like tears streaming down my face. I was laughing so hard. And I was pleasantly surprised by how well this held up. I feel like there was only one joke that I thought was kind of in poor taste, but otherwise like so like wholesome for a horror comedy. Really the whole movie, I was just like, poor Tucker and Dale, they're on a vacation.
Trying to be at their summer
trying
home.
to fix up their cabin.
And also I want a friend like Tucker. He's amazing. Yeah, just hysterical, wholesome, cute. I loved it so much. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. I was so worried. I know we had like these concerns going into Zombieland because 2000s comedy can be pretty hit or miss. It's usually miss. So I was like, oh man, I haven't seen this in a while. And I really hope that it's held up and like doesn't have a bunch of offensive jokes in it. And I think I maybe remember one that was like a little off, but like for the most part, it does not rely at all on like racist, homophobic,
no, it was so wholesome.
It's just like it's just like genuinely hilarious. And I'm the same as Siberia. Like I was just watching it on my iPad by myself in the middle of the day, and I was like laughing. I was laughing so hard at some points, and I was just like, I'm so glad that this held up and is still funny. And I think it will be funny like forever because it's just like it's not relying on anything relevant or like it just feels like a little bit more timeless humor. So I loved it. I think for a horror comedy, like for me, it's like a 10. Like I don't know what more you could ask for. For a horror comedy, you know. Not that it's like the best movie I've ever seen, but like for a horror comedy, like it's perfect. It's hilarious, and it's like got quite a bit of gore. It's got more gore in it than
really good gore too. Like
the kills were like great. Damn.
I was thinking to myself that Tucker and Dale are such like positive masculinity. They are such good friends to each other, and I love. There were so many like places where I thought they were gonna make a homophobic joke, and they didn't. They left it so wholesome and sweet. And I was like, they're such good friends.
Which I appreciate so much.
Seriously. Like it's so great to see in like a horror comedy of all movies. Like the place
a 2000s horror comedy.
Exactly.
I missed what you said. Sorry, Leo was.
I
believe he's getting up to mischief in my office.
I love it. Lauren's face was just like, hopefully I'll understand.
I was like, maybe I'll catch on.
No, I'm not getting
I did
not.
No. Explain about what you heard. Like, really give us your thoughts.
All I can do is agree. And
that's a safe bet.
You see the rest of us agreeing, and you're like,
I'm sure I agree as well. Okay, shall we
get into the plot?
I miss hearing that.
Okay, I've got 5 parts for you.
5 of them.
5 of them. Okay, part 1. The movie opens with a brief flashback scene of a reporter and cameraman being murdered before the movie cuts to current day. Alice and Chad, Chloe, Chuck, Jason, Naomi, Todd, Mitch, and Mike, the largest group of teens ever, are college kids going camping in West Virginia. While at a gas station, they encounter Tuck and Dale, 2 well-meaning hillbillies who have just bought the vacation home of their dreams, a rundown lakefront cabin deep in the woods. On Tucker's advice, Dale tries to talk to Allison, but he only scares her and her friends. On the way to the cabin that Tucker has recently bought, they are pulled over by a Sheriff Gurr who warns them of the dangers of the area. Discuss.
When he's trying to talk to her, it's like it's the most wholesome thing in the world. It's so cute.
It's been a while since I watched it though. Didn't he walk over with the tool though?
It's a big old scythe, like a real scythe.
He's got like a shovel or a scythe or something.
Like, hey.
I love how this is like kind of a parody also of like during that time, during like because in early 2000s, all those like Wrong Turn and like all those,
I was immediately thinking Wrong Turn.
Like they always stop it. I always say, if you're watching a movie in the early 2000s and they stop at like a dingy like gas station, you know it's gonna be a good movie.
That's my shit right there.
Cabin in the woods, baby.
I want to see teens stopping at a gas station in every horror movie. I just think how comically large the group of kids is.
It's so big.
Oh, they are just fodder. They are gonna kill themselves.
We're gonna watch so many people die in the next hour and a half.
My first note, I said every time I hear someone use frat speak like Omega Alpha, I just know that I read way too much fan fiction.
Oh, what does that even mean?
Oh, I'm not explaining that to you. Never mind.
You know.
I've never read fan fiction.
Never?
No. Send me a good one. I'm not against it. I've just never sought it out.
Are you into Bag and Shield? I got some fan fictions for you. If
I
you
read
like that shit, I got some fan fictions.
This is a different podcast.
Can I get a PG? Because now I just need to
know. I don't read PG, so I don't have any. Sorry.
No. I'm just saying a PG rundown of like what those terms mean.
No, you cannot.
Okay, then we'll cut it. I need to know.
Let's just forget that part.
No, I can't.
There's no way to explain that in any way that's even close to PG. Like, it's not possible.
Alpha and Omega?
Yeah.
Yeah, girl, we're not going there. Forget I said it.
Okay, tell me later then.
I thought I was being relatable right now. Never mind. I thought it was really like good underrated advice when Dale's nervous to go talk to her. And Tucker says, she's just human. Just go over there and talk to her. I was like, literally, men, we are just human beings, just like you. We're not like some weird alien species and you have to say the right words. Like, we're just people.
But like, to be fair, a man approaching you in a gas station, I don't want to be approached by
time and place.
No.
Time and place. Especially not if you're holding like a giant weapon.
I mean, truly, I don't want to be approached at a gas station by anyone. So, like, same. a man walking up to me with a scythe, I'd be like, "Hey, I think I'm good on this interaction." Just in her defense.
Yeah, but like, and Tucker even is like, "Dale, you're a good-looking guy. Like, you are good-looking." I was like, "What is that?"
I know. I love them. Their friendship's so cute.
It's so cute.
And I love that they're just like, they're able to be happy with anything. Like their dream vacation home is this rundown cabin. And they're like, yeah.
They're like, we just want to go fishing. Like, they're just so cute.
And they're just trying to help out the kids, like trying to stop this girl from, we'll get to there.
Yeah.
But like, they're literally not here to hurt a fly.
I know. Yeah. Just like how, like, the perspective shifts, like, because when you're with Tucker and Dale, it's just like, oh, these are just like the nicest guys you've ever met, and then the second you switch from the kids' perspective, it's like ominous music plays, and it's just so funny how easily they can shift that dynamic, even though like nothing has changed. I really like that, how they do that throughout the whole movie.
That cop saying the most ominous shit ever was so fucking like, what are you talking? What does he say?
What?
There ain't nothing up there but pain and suffering. I was like,
it's like, hello?
Aren't you an officer of the law?
Talking about.
Okay. Do anyone have any other notes, or so that was kind of a small chunk? So.
No, I did.
Single other small chunk.
Was a Chad a thing back then, or is this movie ahead of its time?
I was wondering that.
I don't think Chad was a thing back then.
I feel like
I remember it being a thing.
I feel like Chad's a kind of a recent term.
I wouldn't say being a Chad is any earlier than like 2018 or 19.
Yeah, that's
what I was
even that say. Feels like pushing.
I thought it was really funny they named him Chad. I was like, y'all don't know how right you are.
His name could have also been Kyle.
Oh, like 100%. Is there a Kyle in the group? There's a Chuck.
I don't remember their names. They all just died so quickly.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of dumbass kids.
Jason's a good one.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, and it is kind of giving. Is that Friday the 13th?
Jason, yeah.
Or Freddy versus whatever the fuck they are. You know,
it's Friday the 13th.
That guy named Jason. I don't know.
I thought it was Cabin in the Woods too.
You haven't seen?
No, it's giving Cabin in the Woods.
Oh yeah. Oh. I was like,
no, that's a perfect film.
Yeah,
I didn't finish that. I need to go back and watch it.
What do you mean?
I don't think I got it.
I think you need to keep watching.
It's so good.
Yeah, to be fair though, if you didn't finish it, you wouldn't get it. So you do need to finish it.
Yeah, I think it was because I was told it's a horror comedy or a parody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I watched the first like 15-20 minutes and like nothing funny had happened, and I was like, so I just turned it off. I was like,
you gotta get deeper.
Yeah,
okay, it's like a serious movie until about like an hour in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just need to try again, because I was just like, this isn't funny, I don't get it.
Then once the other shoe drops, it's like,
oh.
Okay,
it's really
I'll have to rewatch.
It's got quite a like whole ass plot twist to like the structure of the movie.
Okay. I need to give it another try.
You might be watching it.
Oh.
Is that your pick?
Let's continue.
Is that your pick?
Let's continue.
Okay. Anyways, okay, part 2. Tucker and Dale arrive at their decrepit cabin and begin repairing it. Nearby in the woods, Chad tells a story about the Memorial Day Massacre, a hillbilly attack which took place 20 years ago. The college kids go skinny dipping where Tucker and Dale are fishing, and Allison, startled, hits her head and falls into the water. Tucker and Dale save her from drowning, but her friends mistake them as abducting her. Allison wakes up in Tucker and Dale's cabin the next day where she is initially frightened, but then has a lovely morning having breakfast and playing board games with Dale. The other college kids arrive at the cabin to save Allison, and Chuck runs away to get the police. While Dale and Allison are inside the cabin, hornets attack Tucker as he accidentally cuts a hive, causing him to frantically wave his chainsaw around, which one of the college kids misinterpret as hostility. They scatter through the woods, where Mitch accidentally impales himself on a broken tree, killing himself. After finding Mitch's body, Chad persuades the others that they are in a battle for survival. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry to start at the end of the chunk, but like if I came upon my friend and he was like on a branch like that, I'd be like, this dumbass motherfucker ran into a branch. I would not think someone killed him. I thought he was stupid.
Just got pushed into it. Like,
God, there's a line that Tucker says when he gets back to the cabin. He's like, "Are your friends on medication?" She's like, "I don't know," and he's like, "Well, he's not taking it because he was running like
I think they forgot to take it.
They forgot to take it because your friend's out there running like a bat out of hell." So stupid.
It's so dumb.
Oh, just her waking up and then being like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
When he comes in with like French toast or whatever, and she's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh, I can make you eggs or whatever you want." He's like all worried.
He's so cute. Dale is so cute.
Like, oh my God.
And how excited he gets to play board games, like
us core.
Us, literally us.
There was when they're like going fishing and they realize the college kids are like skinny dipping. Dale's like, they don't want to see us right now, and Tucker was like, I want to see them, and I was like, bisexual king. Yeah. He was like, I want to, whatever they got going on, I want to see all of it.
And them just earnestly trying to save Allison like from drowning, and their friends were like, what the fuck?
They're like, he's taking her.
I feel like they overreacted so much because even he was like, "Hey, we got your." Yeah, I guess it's the way he phrased it too.
Hey, we got your
friend. We got your friend.
Well, and even when she like falls into the water, it's because they're like, "Hey, lady," and she's like, gonna scare her. Why don't you say, "Hey, lady"?
We got your friend. They're like, they've got her.
They've kidnapped Allison.
Also, I love the little like bimbo girl and her little like her little pink pumps running through the woods.
Oh, and they're like they knocked her out because she's like not awake on the boat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, I thought it was funny that she's got like the bloodied bandage on her head, and she just kind of takes it off, and she's like perfectly curled hair underneath. I was like,
okay. It is so funny though, just because like I feel like I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies when I was a teenager, but I can't imagine that. It's just like when you're a teenager and like anything is like slightly anyway, and you and your friends all just like work yourself up into a tizzy that like you're about to get murdered, and like an adult's just like, what, like literally what the fuck is wrong with you?
Like we could die.
Yeah. And they're just like, you tripped over a rock. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Tucker really had like the worst day ever though.
I felt so bad for him. He's like struggling.
Hornets attacking.
As soon as I saw that he hit hornets and they were coming, I was like, I know what's about to happen.
Yep.
Starts like wheeling.
It's like a train wreck. I can't stop watching.
I was crying laughing. God. Just
and
the
then
way
Chad's
that
being like, this is a fight for our lives.
Yeah.
The way that it's all like set up, like it's so funny. It's so good.
And they do that it like sets up perfectly every time, and it just is executed perfectly at every turn. Okay, part 3. Allison's friends follow Tucker and Dale back to their cabin and see Allison helping out with construction of an outhouse, but they assume she was being made to dig her own grave. The college kids attack, but Todd accidentally impales himself on his own spear when attacking Dale, and Mike falls into a wood chipper while lunging for Tucker, who bent down to pick up some wood, which is my favorite scene in the whole movie.
It's the best one.
It's so funny.
He eats himself into it.
I got a whole another chunk here. We can continue, but give me a second. Allison is accidentally knocked unconscious by Dale's shovel during the attack, and he takes her inside. The other kids assume the hillbillies killed the 2 men when they see Tucker trying to save Mike from the wood chipper. Tucker and Dale think the college kids are part of a suicide pact, and that contacting the police will make them murder suspects. Chuck arrives back with Sheriff Gurr, who expresses doubt over Tucker and Dale's suicide pact theory. Gurr goes inside the cabin and accidentally kills himself with a loose beam. Then Chuck dies trying to threaten the hillbillies with the gun, only to shoot himself. Chad reappears and attempts to shoot Tucker and Dale, but only manages to capture Tucker, whom he ties upside down to a tree. Chad then tortures Tucker and cuts off 2 of his fingers, sending them with the message to Dale in an attempt to draw him out. Okay, we gotta wind it back to the wood chipper.
So he just fucking dives in.
Like literally dives in, and then the police officer's like, he threw himself in the wood chipper, and he's like, yeah.
And then Tucker's trying to pull him out.
When he's like, they turn off the wood chipper, and he's like, are you okay? I was like,
are you okay?
Oh my god, the way he yeets himself into the wood chipper made me laugh so fucking hard.
So hard.
Ugh.
Also, Allison just like racking up those brain injuries. I was like,
girl.
Like, girl.
Donk. Knocks her over. Then he dives in and like compels himself.
Just like how many of them die so quickly in this like 10-minute scene. They are just like off in themselves.
Dropping flies.
When they're trying to get the kid out of the wood chipper and he like drags the bloody corpse over Dale's face.
Like, and when the cop walks up and they're just dragging legs.
That part's so funny because he's like,
my God.
officer, this is not what it looks like. They're trying to kill themselves as they're trying a bloody corpse. And when they decide that this is a suicide pact, that
they're trying to kill themselves.
This is one of them suicide pacts.
And when she like the digging, they're making her dig her own grave.
It's like, why would
and she's just like, can I help?
She's like, I was born on a farm.
I can do this.
Oh my god.
Her outfit is such a sleigh.
The low-rise jeans.
The low-rise folded over jeans and the little tied-off flannel. I was like, girl, you look good.
Do you guys remember low-rise jeans and your butt crack just hanging on for dear life to stay in pants?
I didn't
for like
own a
2
pair.
years?
I didn't even own a pair.
God.
I didn't even try it.
For you. Jesus Christ. I could never even find not low-rise jeans. I remember it was a torment of my whole childhood. It was just like
everything was low-rise.
I would always tell people that I thought that I had an abnormally high butt crack because like I couldn't keep my ass in low-rise jeans. But it turns out the jeans were the problem. My butt crack's fine.
Noted.
We just weren't built like Paris Hilton and having no ass to have
I'm
a
not
crack.
built like that.
Wait, did we get to the part where he like leans on the
yes.
Oh yeah.
And I love that there's just like that one little note when Dale and Allison are in there and she like goes to lean on it and he's like, oh, be careful of that beam. Yeah. It's like rickety or whatever he says, and then it gives out on the police officer.
Ching.
And the police officer goes out there and they're like, I got
it. Doesn't Dale, like the police officer is like stumbling around the porch and Dale's like, oh, he'll be fine. He's gonna walk it off. It looks okay to me.
He'll walk it off.
Looks okay to me.
He's fine.
Just like imagine this is a real day in your life. You're just like at your house and all of a sudden you're surrounded by people that are just like dying, like 8 people dying on your property at one time. Oh, you would have no idea what to make of that.
And you have nothing to do with any of it.
Yeah, you're just like, hi, How do I explain this?
This whole scene is probably my favorite part of them, just like him stabbing himself and him jumping in the woods. I was literally crying.
I know
so much. I was like, no.
And then hanging him upside down from a fucking tree instead of just killing him. That's so camp.
I love is it Chad that gets the police officer's gun? He tries to shoot it and Dale's like, oh, you have to take the safety off.
Yeah.
And Tucker's like, we're helping him.
Or is that the kid that shoots himself? It might be that kid.
Oh yeah, it's that kid.
Yeah.
And then he like looks at it this way.
It's like, how do you?
Tucker looks at him and goes, take the safety off.
It's so funny.
Yeah. And
also, Chad takes the dog hostage. He's like, if you don't, I'm gonna shoot your dog, and then like ties it to a tree and like.
I'm gonna be really, really mad.
Yeah.
I'll be really mad. What are you gonna do? I'll be mad. Dale is just so sweet.
I know.
And that dog is cute.
Really cute dog.
Jangers, or what was his name? Something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, I had it.
Big old floppy boy.
Floppy boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tucker with the bees and the fingers cut off all in one day. It's
Yeah.
like, damn.
Not the bees.
Also, it wasn't until I was watching it this time that I realized that the title Tucker and Dale versus Evil implies that like teenagers are evil, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah. I guess it is kind of right in the title, isn't it?
Yeah.
I really like that song from My Chemical Romance. Teenagers scared the living shit out of me.
Well, we can't post this on YouTube. Copyright claims.
Oh,
because we sing so good.
Yeah.
We're gonna sound just like the track.
Careful, guys. Part 4. Dale leaves to rescue Tucker while Chad and Naomi return to the cabin to save Allison. When Allison tries to explain the situation, they accuse her of having Stockholm syndrome. Tucker and Dale return, and Allison attempts to lead a calm discussion. Chad says his grandmother told him that his father was killed in the Memorial Day massacre and his mother was the lone survivor. Jason and Chloe break in to retrieve Allison, and a fire breaks out. Tucker, Dale, and Allison escape. Naomi, Chloe, and Jason die, and Chad, who is now insane and scarred, vows revenge. After crashing their truck, an injured Tucker tells Dale that Chad has taken Allison to an old sawmill. At the sawmill, Chad tries to kill Allison, but Dale arrives to rescue her, fighting Chad off momentarily. The two barricade themselves inside an upstairs office where they discovered news clippings revealing Chad's father to be one of the hillbillies responsible for the massacre 20 years ago and not one of the victims. Chad becomes enraged, but Dale throws a box of chamomile tea at Chad, giving him an asthma attack. Chad convulses and falls out a window to his apparent death.
Also, you think she has Stockholm syndrome after what? Like 10 hours?
Yeah.
It's like a couple hours. I'm like, that doesn't happen.
Maybe he's just nice.
If you put yourself in the college kid's shoes, like what else would make sense?
Yeah.
Like what would explain this? We've just seen these hillbillies like kill our friends. Like why would you be defending them? Yeah, and the cop.
Honestly,
She's like, for real though, y'all are being crazy, not me.
Yeah. Also when that guy catches on fire and Dale's like, he's crackling like a log. I love like all of their lines are so good.
I think I read that they improv'd quite a bit of it, or they at least like they I think had a lot to do with like the writing of it and like improv and stuff. So yeah, all of their like one-off lines are so fucking funny.
In his house, I felt so bad.
I felt so
for
bad
Tucker.
for
I was
them.
like, because I can't remember at one point, but he says
my
that he
vacation home.
Because he said he like sunk like all of his savings into it, and this starts burning, and I'm sitting there like, no, Tucker.
I hope they had like homeowners insurance, yeah,
cabin insurance.
Vacation home insurance.
Also, the fact that they just have like they've all been going through this, and they all just like sit in a circle and try to like talk it out for a minute. So we get all of the exposition of like Chad talking about that massacre and all that.
It's so funny.
That his like flashbacks about the massacre were giving very much Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
That's exactly the movie it was making me think of.
Oh, Wrong Turn.
It made me want to rewatch Wrong Turn. I love that.
I did too. The whole time I was just like, oh, Wrong Turn.
It's like the classic kids stop at a gas station and get fucked over by hillbillies. It's like
it's the one that like whenever you think West Virginia, everybody's like, oh, Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
It's like
I haven't seen it in so long. I'm kind of scared it's gonna be distasteful.
I think it's pretty fucked up, actually, if I remember.
Yeah.
It's like pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember being really gross.
There were parts in it that like
it's like The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we got the whole sawmill scene, and the classic like rolling slowly to your death.
Gail's perfect axe throw that like just cuts the rope.
Yeah,
I love it.
So good.
But she starts getting like closer and closer.
Yeah.
I also love he throws the chainsaw and then they run upstairs and he's like, we gotta find a weapon. And I was like,
hello?
You had a chainsaw. I don't really know why you threw it.
Also, you rescuing her just to kill her. Like, bro.
Yeah. Chad, what is the motivation here?
What's not clicking?
The scene reminded me a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It gave it that vibes.
Oh yeah.
Except in that one she runs to like a meat factory.
Yeah. It was very much like that. Yeah.
I love the it's true, Chad. You're half hillbilly.
You're half hillbilly.
Yep.
As if hillbilly is like a race.
Yeah, he's like, no,
it can't be. And they're like, yeah, sorry, bud.
I also love he like falls out the barn doors. They both just kind of look at him and then they just sort of shut the doors like, well,
that's enough of that.
That puts a bow on this storyline.
Ain't got nothing else to do with me.
It circles back to our last episode where you always have to double tap.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
And we're about to learn that real quick.
Yeah. This last part. The police and the news crew arrive late at the cabin and broadcast a news report stating that the deaths appear to be the result of a suicide pact and a deranged killer who is revealed to be Chad. And he has survived the fall. The reporter and the cameraman are the same two from the movie's opening scene. Tucker is recovering in the hospital when Dale enters and they discuss Tucker's recovery. Tucker asks Dale whether he managed to invite Allison on a date and is happy to hear that the two of them are going bowling. Later that night at the bowling alley, Dale encourages a fellow hillbilly to talk to some girls and to just be himself. As Dale and Allison confess their feelings for each other and kiss, the other hillbilly accidentally knocks out a girl in the background, starting a new misunderstanding.
Yeah, I didn't like him carrying off the unconscious girl and be like, hey. I was like, oh. And it was so unproblematic the whole movie. And then just at the end, they had to throw in like an implied rape joke. And I was like, why did you do that? Because it was like sitting at a 9 and then that joke. And I was like, 8.5.
But to get that far.
It was like so
for that to be the first like true offensive thing.
Yeah. And Dale and Allison are so cute.
I know. So I love that they like actually end up together. So precious.
Go bowling.
Yeah. I was afraid it was gonna be like one of those like he doesn't get the girl in the end type thing. And I'm like, oh, like, they did.
She goes back to school and they just have to.
And of course, fucking Chad is still fucking alive.
I know. I think, I was reading that there apparently was a Tucker and Dale 2 in the works for a really long time. And then it like never happened.
I think I was reading that too. And I was like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Depressing.
I know.
Why?
But sometimes it's nice to just let it live.
Not everything needs a sequel.
Doesn't. It can just be a really good movie.
Because it is really just like a perfect little like bubble of 2010 that's like, wow, you really did it. And this is still good. Let's keep it like this.
Don't touch it. Don't add anything.
Even though I would trust Alan Tudyk and the man who plays Dale, whose name is escaping me, to do a good job.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at actor names. I still haven't even seen like Zombieland 2. There's a lot of sequels. I just never get around to seeing.
It's hard to watch sequels.
I think I only ever watched it like once when it first came out, which I don't even know how long ago that was, and I remember thinking it was fine. I don't remember. But
yeah, it was okay.
Well, is that our thoughts?
Was that it?
Yeah.
It's a short one.
I mean, yeah, we just loved it so much. There's not much to say or like argue about.
It's a lot of like gory slapstick, which is just like, it's simple, but it's so perfect.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where like I was watching it, so it was like hard for me to like sit and take notes because I was, which is a good thing. Like it kept me off my phone.
Yeah.
Like so like and all those scenes just stick out particularly, like the bees and the jumping into the.
I think it's hard. It's hard to take notes too, because the notes are just like, this was funny.
It's funny.
This was also funny.
This
was
hilarious.
also funny. Yeah, like you just be saying the same. Like I don't have thoughts on every scene other than like that was hilarious.
Yeah, we're not gonna have like apostle level no breaking down.
Is there a metaphor here? Is there a metaphor for throwing yourself in a wood chipper?
Yeah, I love how just like farcical it is. It reminds me a lot of like a farce play, like how everything is set up so like funny and how everything plays. Yeah, it's so
everything's going wrong.
Well, and everything just like subverting expectations. It's just like the scary hillbillies are not the bad guys here.
Yeah. They're just some dudes.
Yeah. Just living.
When did Wrong Turn come out? Did it?
You're making me want to watch this movie. I've never seen it.
I'm gonna say 2008.
2003.
Oh, way earlier.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's got Elijah Dushku in it.
I haven't seen it in so long, and I'm afraid it's gonna not be as good as I remember.
I know all the like sequels are pretty bad.
I've definitely watched all of them. I went through like a whole Wrong Turn phase and like watched all of them.
The only like horror franchise I watched all the sequels was Saw.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Paranormal Activity.
I need to do that. I keep meaning to do it, and well, it's just also like if they're not all free somewhere, I'm like I don't really feel like paying $2 to rent each one.
For Paranormal Activity, it was worth it. It was like a whole experience to like watch them over a week. I was like, Slay, what are we getting into tonight?
I know, we were both watching them like at the same time. And the last one was not very good, but
I usually watch all the sequels that come out. I remember over quarantine, I was like, I had watched the first Friday the 13th and I'd watched Freddy vs. Jason. And I was like, and I watched like the new version of Friday the 13th. I was like, let me just watch them all. And I love horror classics. I hate Friday the 13th. It's so boring.
I don't like that movie.
I liked Freddy Goes to Space. I like the Freddy Goes to Space.
Friday the 13th
so
sucks.
Stupid.
Nightmare on Elm Street is where it's at for classic horror.
I didn't like Nightmare on Elm Street when I saw it. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember being I think I just didn't get like why that would be really very scary.
Johnny Depp in a crop top.
Gets sucked into the bed.
I've never really found Johnny Depp hot.
I didn't until I saw that movie.
We still need to do that crossover with Steven.
I was an Orlando Bloom girly.
Same.
Anything Orlando Bloom was in, I was there for it.
Same.
I was a Johnny Depp
everybody
kid.
was like Jack Sparrow. I was like Will Turner.
I was a Johnny Depp kid just because of Crybaby. Like I was obsessed with the movie Crybaby.
I've seen Crybaby.
It's good.
It's so good. It's a John Waters film. It's so insane. Like it's bananas. I can quote that whole movie too.
I think it's one that I always saw like posters for, but I never heard anybody talk about it. So it
looks like Johnny Depp in Grease on the
poster. So I was like, I just don't even know what it is. So I never watched it.
It's bananas. Like you have to go and being like, this is bananas.
Like camp or like
it's very campy. It is the definition of camp. Like,
okay, I should watch it then.
Yeah, it's
speaking of camp, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That was really good.
Good pick, Lauren.
Yes, I'm really glad that everyone liked it and that it wasn't super offensive.
It's Slay.
That's after every horror comedy.
Yeah. That was a close one. So Kirsten, you are the last in our horror comedy pick. And
round us out, baby.
We maybe got a little sneak peek of what it's gonna be, but tell us.
I struggled so hard trying to figure out like what, because like I'm like, would y'all think this is funny? Like it's just like my humor is so like I like stupid things, I like campy things. I know you guys do too, but like sometimes it gets like lost in translation. And I was like, no, I have something perfect that I want to pick right now. It is sitting at a 92 from critics and a 74 from audience on Rotten Tomatoes. And the only description I give is what say an item that you pick up and you mess with it is what causes your fate. My pick is Cabin in the Woods.
The iconic horror comedy.
So good.
I'm curious to rewatch it. Because the first like 15-20 minutes that I watched, it did not leave an interesting impression. I was just bored.
It is bananas.
When you realize
you're gonna like get to the end of it and you're gonna be like, what the literal fuck is happening?
When you realize what's going on, and there's like one part, I'm not gonna spoil it. There's one part where you look at a whiteboard and there's just things written on it that you pause and just read what's written on it. Oh my god, it's the funniest thing in the entire world.
It's so good.
Last time me and Fallon watched it, we paused it and sat and read everything. We'll get into it. It's so funny. Yeah,
that's exciting.
Good. Yeah.
And so next episode we'll have picked our next category.
Oh yeah,
so we gotta do a poll after this one.
Yeah.
Do we know our picks? Mine's gonna be the same as always.
Zombie.
Mine's slasher.
Foreign film.
I got in a slasher mood after watching Scream 6. I was like, ooh, I'm picking that.
I just want zombies so bad.
See, I don't know that I even know that many slasher films. I know a lot of zombie ones though. Choosing
I don't know.
I got into a slasher mood when I watched Scream 6 and I was like, yep, slasher.
I don't think I know a single slasher movie that I like really liked. But then again, I don't find like guy with a knife very scary. I'm like, he's just some guy. Kick him in the balls. Like
that's just a dude.
That's my like. I'm scared of like a ghost or a demon or a monster because I'm like I don't know what it's capable of. But like that's just Kyle. I'm not scared of him. Like I will fight him.
Okay, wait. What did you all just pick?
I picked slasher.
Slasher and
zombies.
I am once again choosing zombie.
Every time.
I'm sad.
Since the beginning, I've chosen zombies. So if that influences anyone's decision listening, please choose zombie.
I would also, if you pick zombie, I know a foreign film that I would also pick.
I do know a film I will pick.
I'll still put clown in the mix.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I know that many clown movies?
I got a good one. I got a good one for clown.
I know what person's gonna pick.
I got one that I'm so excited to pick for. Is it fucking Terrifier 2?
I know it and Terrifier. Other than
I'm not rewatching that movie. I love it. I love the movies too.
You said you liked it. It was just too long.
I wouldn't want to rewatch it. I'll just say that.
Okay, but there are a lot of good movies that are just way too long, and I'm like, I enjoyed it, but like Avatar, I've never gone back and sat all the way through Avatar. It's just too long.
Yeah, same.
You're not sat.
I'm not sat. Standing.
I'm stood.
I'm stood.
I got another one I can pick.
Oh, I'm so excited to watch Cabin in the Woods, y'all.
It's so good.
I love that movie.
I want to see Pumpkin. You'll understand when you watch it. I want to see every iteration of this movie.
Yes, they could make so many. I don't know why they haven't made any other
iteration of this movie.
Yeah. And you'll see why.
Yeah. So yes, we'll see you next time.
Wait, where can we watch it?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
You can you can rent it on places. It's not on things. I'm sorry.
You're making me spend $3 hairs.
Wow. I didn't know this was an expensive podcast to watch.
Yeah, I didn't realialize this was exclusive to rich people.
Listen, I will Venmo you each.
Give me $3 hairs right now.
Well, your phone just dings.
Oh shit, $3.
Okay.
All right, but go ahead and watch it. It's on Amazon. You can rent it. It's on all the places that you can rent. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.